My people wonder they say shall never end. According to the information reaching us, they said the jewel was so shocked upon knowing that she wouldn't have conceived again outside the palace without that particular ritual that was carried out on her that day. All this while, she was thinking that, maybe if she have remarried, maybe she would have conceived and all of that. That she never know that without this ritual that they carried out on her to reopen her womb in order to be able to conceive, they said she was shocked when this Adetutu was explaining to her the details of that ritual, because in as much as she doesn't involve in some of those rituals that they do, they said this particular one, they explained everything very well to her and all of that. And the part where they poured water, they said it was poured on her, allegedly. That is what we heard. And she was kind of disappointed because this is not what she expected. That was when they said Adetutu explained to her that it is not even the king's doing, you know. It is not the king who made it to be so. That when the jewel agreed to marry the king, that a lot of things are involved. That the king is a living deity. So that means a whole lot. Is as good as being married to a deity. Remember that sometimes, apart from this particular incident, I have seen cases where they said a particular girl is married to a deity. And that kind of a girl, at the end of the day, most times they end up not getting married. You know, sometimes it could be because of the fact that they were dedicated to a deity while growing up, or sometimes it could be that maybe why their parent was looking for a child, they went to a particular deity, and there was an agreement that if at the end of the day you give birth to this child and the child is a girl, the child will be a wife to the deity. I've seen cases like that among traditional people and all of that. But in this case of the king and the jewel, is not a case of seeking for a child from the deity or something. But in this case, they said it is a case of the jewel getting married to only living deity. That the king does not even have control over certain things that women will have to go through in her hands once they got married to her. But the little he always explained to them before getting married to them. And we all know that when the Jewel wanted to get married to the king, she never imagined that anything could make their marriage not to work, especially when she was head in love with the king, and the king too was so much in love with her. So they did not expect that along the way that someone like they will encounter someone like Ebony, who will be a stumbling block to their marriage and everything, because from all indication, from everything that people have been saying, Ebony is the reason these two had serious problem, and due to manipulations and all of that, their marriage ended, was the way it was, but not anymore, because from the information we are gathered, they are now back for good. And some rituals that will enable the jewel, conceive again, like this reopening of motherhood ritual, have taken place. And some people are saying that this is what is still holding Wurola till date. That Wurola can hardly remarry, not to talk of having children. That at the end of the day, she might even remarry, but having children is another big deal, you know. So, and that's why a lot of people were saying when the jewel left the place that there is no how another man will marry her, there is no how she's going to meet with another man and all of that, until a particular ritual that they called Mogun that the king did on her is removed. I don't know if that Mogun is part of this particular one. I don't know. But they said the jewel was kind of shocked and disappointed with the tradition when they explained to her the essence of that reopening of motherhood ritual that they wanted to carry out for her, you know. But in things like this, I believe the jewel was small, young, and naive, and the mother maybe did not ask questions because these days you don't involve yourself with things that you don't know. But it has happened, it has happened. I am happy that they have reconnected because that is the most important thing. And since they have reconnected, I don't think there will be need for asking why this, why that. But it is also important that children of these days should ask questions, certain questions, because sometimes in marriage it turn out not to be what you expected, and they are not expected to buy there once things turn around the way you never expected. uh And that's why you should ask question at the beginning. Let it not be a case of if you ever leave this marriage, you no go ever meet with another man and all of that. So this is the reason parents should endeavor to ask question or explain things to their children. Explain things very well for their children before allowing them get involved in some of those traditions that they are not too sure of. Because I believe that if anyone have told any lady that getting married to this man, maybe be the person a king or another, that if anything happens, it goes nowhere. Just like what is happening to this Regina Daniel and Ned Nwoko right now. A lot of people believe that due to that particular ritual that Ned did, where Regina and the mother was wearing white, that now that Regina said she doesn't want to do again, that she will never have anything to do with another man. And you know that Ned, on the other hand, can never ever do anything to release Regina if that ritual is actually effective. But from the look of things, some people are saying that, okay, even Regina herself said that that ritual is nothing, that it doesn't carry any weight, it doesn't have any effective and all of that. I just pray so, because if not, that simply means that Regina will stay without, moving on and all of that. So it is important to have information about things like this before getting involved. And that is what the jewel did not have when she got married to the king. And upon hearing it, she was so kind of disappointed. But in all, like I said, they have reconnected, and that is the most important thing. Anyway, guys, that is what we are hearing if the information is true. Don't forget that these are all alleged, unverified information making rounds on social media and shouldn't be seen as fact unless you verify them, okay? Thanks for watching. Bye for now. Love you.